What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We are back for another episode of State of Affairs. I'm joined by my co-host SW. How are you doing today, man?
Doing good.
Nice, doing good as well. So there's this crisis happening right now. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. It's more of an epidemic, maybe a pandemic at this point. The female loneliness epidemic. I wasn't aware that there were so many lonely, innocent, sweet, virgin church girls out there just waiting to be carried away by Prince Charming, but apparently that's what's going on, man. I didn't know that.
Oh man.
So So yeah, we gotta look at a little content today from a Twitter friend. I would call her a friend. I've met Mary Morgan a few times. Um I don't think she's like a malicious person. Just preface it with this. I don't think she's malicious. I don't think she's like a fraud or anything like that, but I do think that she's indicative of kind of the larger um I think it's probably just a trend that we're seeing among women at this point.
Aloofness.
Yeah, perfectly put. There's this aloofness happening among women right now in response to um, men making correct observations about women. And the female response seems to be something like the reason the birth rates are down, the reason the marriage rates are down are because I mean, really, if you boil it down, what she's saying is that there's a good man scarcity. And
Well,
let
and that's the thing. Anyone who's not basically like Fernando Mendoza is what they think settling is.
yeah, that's a good
Like,
point. I'll settle for the highs.
like
Yeah.
I'll
Hmm.
settle for the nerd, and it's like, oh, you mean the Heisman winning national championship, first
Yeah.
overall draft pick QB? But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's basically like that, where one of the issues is that it's they have to straw man every guy out there as some gooner video game player who's
Exactly.
who's got a sports man cave and says, "Sorry, babe, we're not going to your mom's birthday. I gotta watch the Cowboys on Monday Night Football."
Right. Right. So the tweet that we're going to be analyzing today and kind of the idea that we're going to be breaking down is the idea of this right here. Mary Morgan had a tweet, had 3.3 million views.
I don't think
It
that's
says,
the. Oh wait, the Sarah Stock thing. Was a reply. I was
oh
like, oh,
yeah,
that's not a
yeah,
good example.
that's the top reply, which is a great point. So Mary Morgan had a tweet a few days ago, and it says, "We have an epidemic of lonely church girls." Very brief tweet, generated a lot of conversation. And so before we analyze that tweet, what I want to do is kind of so Mary Morgan is kind of this Tim Pool adjacent, Daily Wire adjacent. She's done interviews with Michael Knowles. Um, I'll show you a tweet that I had about so we have her tweet here, and I quote tweeted it, and I said, "Guys like Michael Knowles eat up this lonely church girl shtick with a spoon because they have internalized feminism and cannot fathom that anything in society could be their sweet little princess's fault. If only churchmen would step up." Okay, delete your ex account then, Mary. She would obviously never do that. Um, so she's this kind of Daily Wire adjacent. She's done interviews with Michael Knowles. Um, glowing interviews, by the way. Michael, and let's just take a look at Mary Morgan here. So again, nice girl. I've met her before. She's Catholic. I like that. Not a bad looking girl, Hey, good on you.
It's kind of
Um,
stock like
kind of what?
Sarah Stock like.
Yeah, yeah, there's like a Sarah Stock thing, and she kind of plays into the little girl thing, if I'm being honest. She plays into this she's just
Like
like
a
this.
conservative Lisa Simpson.
Yeah, very well put. Very well put. Um, so let's kind of look at some of her content really quick.
Can't drive. Oh, that was way harsh, Ty.
And
You're a
and you
virgin
can
who can't drive.
she's leaning into the virgin thing. She's leaning into the, women need to be repressed thing, which I don't entirely disagree with, but this is all
It
very,
just feels like a gimmick.
yeah, it feels very curated. It feels gimmicky, and I'm not gonna cast aspersions. I think she is a trad cath. I'm Catholic. We're both Catholic, so I can respect that. Um, but she's definitely curating an image, and you look at some of these comments. The comments to her posts, pictures of her, are just depressing. You got this guy.
She's a pistol.
She's a
Oh,
pistol, or
I
this
wish you'd date my loser son.
this guy. At least the camera loves you. This guy's got to be in his 40s. Not
Is
to
it the
dox.
close-up selfie pic with Oakley's on?
Yeah, pretty close, pretty close. You just got a lot of these guys responding, this guy, like, what is this? So you have all these guys hoping that she
Jester
likes
meme.
exactly, hoping that she slides in their DMs. So you can kind of see the image that she's curating, and we can go to her Twitter. She's doing the FBI thing. That's fine. Leaning into the kind of little girl thing a
Oh,
little
she likes
bit.
anime.
Exactly. And this was the Catholic anime character that the Vatican promoted last year, I guess, to uh, draw a bridge to make a bridge between the youth and Catholicism. That's all fine, but you can kind of see the aesthetic that she's going for. And
Oh yeah.
let's you look at some of these comments. Oh, why why is a wait? Okay, why is a priest? Never mind. I'm not going to go there. Um, you got these guys. Just
Well,
just a lot of simps in her comments is all I'm going to say.
one of the funny things that I noticed um, was people promptly responded with the tweet from the one girl who said, "Oh my God, that guy asked me for my number after mass."
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. So wait,
That
break.
was like one of
Okay.
the biggest replies.
Yeah, yeah, let's try to find that. Also, TR Sarter, who I'm mutuals with, had a great response to her. We have a church girl epidemic loneliness thing. He said, "We have an epidemic of women who cannot find a 6'8" multimillionaire golden
Yes.
retriever werewolf who respects her independence but will also lead her and give her space, but also romance her, but also when she wants, will not judge her past and also be religious but not serious." And it's like very well put. It's
Well, it's like basically Fernando Mendoza.
exactly, and that's why that Fernando Mendoza reference triggered my response with that. But um yeah, yeah. So this is basically regurgitating the there are no good men tweet, and we have an epidemic of lonely church girls. Um, I'll just go first. I really take issue with that. I really take issue with the idea that the problem with the dating market is men, frankly. I will concede that there is some weird stuff with Gen Z guys a little bit, but I think like when you go on TikTok, there's a very common genre of women showing off their hinge responses and the weird responses they've gotten
Or
from Gen
showing
Z
off
guys.
how they curved the guy, like, oh yeah, we
Exactly.
went on a date and I didn't like his shirt.
Exactly.
So on to the next one. And it's like,
Right.
and that's
That's
why
one
I have no
genre.
sympathy. Like I have no sympathy, and it's all just projection, and it goes to what we've talked about before about how they've all lost their goddamn minds, or I shouldn't say all, but like they've lost the plot has been lost. Like
Yes.
it, nothing really has changed with guys in the last 20,
100%.
30 years. But
And
like if you look at like a girl from the 90s versus a 30-year-old woman from the 90s versus now, or even like the early 10s, it's oof, it's grim.
exactly. I think when we talked to JF Gary Epi about the women question, simp question and everything, that actually came up, and that's my point, is that I do lay 98% of the fault at women's feet, basically, because the nature of men has not changed fundamentally. Um, really,
Well, I think
I
the
think the
big
nature of
problem
men
too
is the
is
same.
because they're trying to claim the opposite, and it's all complete projection. Like they're trying to say, "Oh, there's no real men out there. Like these guys are all just gooner anime watching sports fans,"
Right,
and
right,
it's just simply not true. And it defies reality. And the problem
exactly.
is they've all turned into these like cartoonish Sex in the City bad bitches
Right.
who go out, drink, and twerk, and it's like, and
But
it's
here's
not
the
even in
thing
like
though.
a sincere way, in like a performative way.
But here's the thing though. What we have with Mary Morgan here is a unique twist on it. And I've been seeing this. It's the trad twist. It's that okay, well, maybe all the other women may be boss babe bitches and career driven girlies, but not me. I'm just a lonely church girl who wears her veil and says the rosary after mass and is just waiting for any guy really. He could be 5'3" and poor and work at Walmart as long as he had a good heart and treated me with respect. I would love to go on a date with that guy. And if you believe that, do you like please contact me if you believe that. I have some great oceanfront property in Dallas, Texas to sell you. If you believe that the problem is that there is just this plethora, this infinite number of Mary Morgan looking women just after mass waiting to be approached by some 5'4" chud with an anonymous Twitter account. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And you can
It's an
tell because
Yeah,
I am sure we can already see this by the responses to her tweet, not this tweet, but to her Instagram and pictures of her. I can guarantee you, Mary Morgan, you're more than welcome to come on here and prove me wrong. You're more than welcome to push back on this.
show the
I can
DMs.
I can guarantee you have no shortage of suitors in those DMs. And if your response to that is, well, they didn't meet my standards, then you're proving my point. You're proving my point. Your tweet did not say we have an epidemic of lonely church girls who are not being approached by Chad. You
One, the
exactly,
problem
just go.
is too when you point out, like when you point this out in any dating discourse that that modern women have. I suppose I shouldn't. I gotta rephrase that. That single modern women. This
Fair.
doesn't like. It's specifically one genre. Single
Many
modern women have,
there's problems with the married women too, but
but it's like a
that's not what we're
different
talking
problem.
about. It's not what we're talking
It's
about.
the
Yeah.
single. The problem is the standards are too high. But if you point that out, they're like, "What do you?" It's like if you told a guy, "Sorry, you can't have Sydney Sweeney," and his response is, "What am I supposed to do? Date some fat girl from the trailer park?"
Exactly.
And it's like
Exactly.
there's middle ground to it, and it's like,
Right.
okay, like you're bragging about how, oh, you didn't go on the date because his under or his the collared shirt under his sweater was a weird color
He tied
scheme.
his shoes before the date and I got the ick because he was bent over and I saw his boxers.
Yeah, or it's just all stuff like that that just like it's 100% true to say the standards are completely unrealistic and it's all on them. But the problem is they've never been told they're wrong or have to sacrifice, so
Exactly.
it just doesn't register in their minds.
Right. And these guys, that's and I have my issues with Mary Morgan, but really not to blame guys, but I really don't like this genre of like Michael Knowles type of guy who's like, if you just, have you tried just approaching her, Chud? Have you tried?
It's
And it's like, I'm not saying don't approach, but what I am saying though is that I think guys have thought of that before. I think guys have thought of, hey, I should go talk to her. That's not working.
I
Um,
it's and
and
then we're
they
also
run cover
dealing
for
with
them.
then it's like I've shown you with the lesbian couple, we're also dealing with a unique problem of like, 5 to 10% of like what would usually be like the upper echelon, or not upper echelon, but like that good, I'll use the number system, eights.
Uh-huh.
Like I mean, 5 to 10% doesn't seem like a lot, but if like we've lost 10% of the female dating pool
Right.
to lesbianism, then that's
And
not a good,
even
that's a
more
big problem.
pronounced. It's even more pronounced among Gen Z. Something like 25% or something of Gen Z women are bisexual or LGBT. Like this is very clearly a woman problem. And what this tweet implies is that, if only guys would just talk to the lonely church girl, you know, I will kind of critique Mary Morgan here. She wants to play the role of this the trad virgin or whatever. I'm not denying that I don't want to get into that. But what I'm saying is that she's playing the role of this trad girl and who doesn't want a career. It's like you are clearly very heavily invested in your Twitter account, your
Yeah,
Instagram account. You're doing interviews with Michael Knowles. You're going on Timcast, and that's fine. If that's your prerogative, go for it. But don't sit here and act like you're this above it all, non-corporate, non-boss babe who's just waiting, praying the rosary.
just some random girl chilling.
Exactly. And that's what they all want to be, is just this damsel in distress thing. And, women are damsels in distress fundamentally, but they want to have their cake and eat it too. And that's kind of
Well,
the problem here.
well, yeah, and it's that the goalposts constantly move.
Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
and it's like no matter what, oh, just approach. You approach. Nah, I don't like. Nope, I don't want them. I'm
I
not
mean,
interested.
I mean,
And
can
it's like,
you
okay,
even
then what?
can you even imagine like what the DMs look like? You know what I mean? What
And,
these
not to
DMs
sound like a longhouse simp, but like I do feel bad for some of these chicks because they have to be getting some super unhinged stuff.
Oh, I can imagine. And
But again, when you
that's a
put then it's the double-edged sword of it is, all right, you put yourself out there to do that, so yeah, that's gonna happen.
well,
It's like anything.
and that's what I was going to say earlier is that there's this genre on TikTok of the women not showing how they've curved the guys, but showing like guys they haven't responded to who are just sending them outlandish, stupid responses to their prompts.
And sometimes it's not even stupid. It's just like,
Right. It's
how
them.
else are you supposed to respond or talk?
Well, but also a lot of these guys that are sending objectively like stupid ones, that is them treating the dating market with the seriousness it deserves. They're kind of just checking out. They're kind of just
Yeah,
like, I'm just going to send something stupid because the dating market it is stupid because of women, honestly. We didn't have these problems really before social media, if we're being honest. Like,
yeah.
I'm not
I
one
mean,
of these
it's
people.
all within the last decade.
Exactly. It's at least the dating
And
content
I
stuff,
think
the stuff we
like with
talk about.
I know it's like beating a dead horse, but COVID made this. This is another thing that doesn't really get talked about a lot. That how COVID kind of everybody going into summer vacation mode and not really having a social life for 2 years, and they come out like kind of maladjusted and unable to even do basic stuff.
Exactly, exactly. I think that the guys are treating the dating market with the seriousness that it deserves, and it's become unserious because of women. Um, because, like you said, the goalposts are shifting, and they do have unrealistic expectations. And I think a lot of guys are just checking out, right? Kind of
Well,
rightfully
because it's
so.
like, what can you really? I mean, and this is the sad part. Like, what can you really do?
You
Like,
can
you can't say lower your standards to women because they'll view that in the most extreme way possible and think you're asking them to date some fat anime person. But you and like at the same time, you can't tell guys to give up. So
ex
like, what is it? It's just
yeah,
like
exactly. And
it's a real stalemate.
yeah, yeah. There's a funny video that kind of ties into this. So the women, can you see my screen? Have you seen
Yeah.
this video?
Oh, I haven't watched it, but I
Okay.
saw it.
So so the women say that these guys don't have any hobbies. They don't have hot hobbies. They only play video games, blah blah blah. So let's just take their word for it. This is what they want from the men. They want this is what they apparently want.
Ranking hobbies for single men. Video games. Sorry, but your future wife just isn't playing Call of Duty. Netflix, Kick, and sports gambling are F tier too. D tier, golf. Let's be honest, golf is a better hobby for married men than single men.
And see, the golf thing is where
That's not
she
even
really,
true.
it's not true at all. Not true at all. And what you realize when she gets to golf being D tier is that really what she's ranking these based on how centered around women is your hobby. Are you gesturing at all times? Are
So
you
there was
are you
a
dancing for her?
there was some weird church girl. I don't know if I ever sent you this one. This was like a month ago, so it's probably lost in the shuffle. But so she was complaining that her husband was playing in a church golf outing, and golf outings are it's like a 6 hour thing. You have
Uh-huh.
a lot of people on the course. I mean, you're playing in groups of four,
Mhm.
so it takes a while. And she was like, it's kind of unfair that my church group meeting once a month is 2 hours on a Saturday morning, and I'm back home by 11. But
Wait,
he's out.
is this a married woman?
Yes.
Okay,
And
okay,
she's like,
making sure.
and she goes, and my husband, he gets to do this golf outing once a year, and it's 7 hours, and it's like I'm expected to be with the kids all day.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's I couldn't even believe what I like, and all these other married women were like, yeah, it's so ridiculous. That just is so long and it's unfair.
And what the point is that they're never going to be happy. That's kind of the point because
Well, and
she's
that's
saying
why. Well, the
that's the
other thing is
point.
that's why her saying golf is a good hobby for married men. It's not true
That's
because
not true at all.
it's a 5 hour because it's a lot harder for a
Well,
married guy to be like, oh, hey, I gotta go spend 5 hours away on a
we could
on a Saturday morning.
we could sit here. I'm not going to do it, but we could open TikTok right now and find plenty of content from married women saying, "I'm sick of my husband playing golf all day. This is messed up." And videos of them humiliating their husband when he gets home from golf. Like this is a lie. She is
Oh, I've
either
seen. Did you
it's a
see the
total
one
lie.
where like she just starts going off on this guy as soon as
Mar
he walks in the door?
Oh, no, I haven't, but I've seen that type of content though. Like as soon as the beaten husband gets home from golf, she's just laying into him. I've seen that
And
kind of
like they
stuff.
don't understand, like, and I say this as a golfer, like you're really like you're at the mercy of pace, and especially so like if you're a married guy with a family, you're probably not like me going and playing on a Tuesday afternoon to beat the crowds and going
Right.
out solo. And you're probably playing on Saturday. It's the only times your buddies can really get together and do something. So it
Right.
ends up being a longer round because there's more people on the course. It's always slower, and you can't really just like you could leave on like hole nine,
Uh-huh.
but then you
I
just
mean,
wasted probably like $100 or $100.
you could replace the golf. I mean, really what she's saying here is that the hobby isn't centered around women because you could replace
No,
the
they
golf.
I think they hate golf because there's no wiggle room on time. Like
Oh, interesting.
everything else,
Interesting.
like if you go hoop, really, it's let's be real. Like at our age, nobody's hooping for 3 hours.
Good point.
It's
That's a fair point.
like
Yeah.
it might be 2 hours. Like golf, if you're playing 18, you pretty much, and especially if it's like a course that might be like 45-minute drive,
Uh-huh.
that's the entire day. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you're, and that I think that's what drives them the most insane about golf is
That's a
just
good point.
simply that there's no wiggle room on time. Like a baseball game, a hockey game, that's 2, 3 hours.
It's
I
true.
mean, that's really nothing. But golf,
Even like going to the gym,
yeah,
you can reasonably say it's going to take about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
and
That's
2.5 hours tops.
right,
Like
right,
not to beat a dead horse, but with golf, if you're playing 18, it's five. If you're playing 18 and it's Saturday, that's 5 hours, and that's what drives them completely insane about golf.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. And we're getting into the married guy thing, but it's just to show that like there's no consistency here. Um,
Yeah, I'm
so
curious what the other ones are.
oh,
I
dude,
remember seeing something about racket sports.
you're gonna get a kick out of what the other ones are. So right now we have video games which are not female centric at all. And look, I will say that if you're spending your entire day playing video games, not bettering yourself, that's like that, it's a problem not because it's not introducing you to women. It's a problem because it's like not bettering yourself. And the thing with these hobbies is that the hobbies that she lists, this is what happens if you center your life around appeasing women. The problem with video games is not that you won't meet your wife playing them. The problem with uh, abusing the time that you would be playing video games, spending too
You should
long,
be building her
like
shelves.
you should be yeah, right. You should be learning how to carve your future wife's name into wood.
You should be repairing her transmission.
They want a slave, bro. They really do
I
just
mean,
want
that's what it is.
slaves.
And the thing with video games is, they're never gonna get around. Okay, so these women would never say this, but I think the Troons are another reason they're anti-video games because I think a lot of them see it as kind of a troony thing to do. It's a nerdy thing with full of weirdos.
Right.
And even though it's not, I'm not.
No, 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 no. I know,
I
but
but
that's their
like
impression. That's their
their
impression.
optics of it, and they would never say this is you're basically a gooner troon.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. They have a like a stereotypical image in their head of what gaming looks like. Or I mean, look, she also says here, she says that she puts net well here, I'll just let her say it.
I agree with her on Netflix and streaming because it.
That's not even really that's I wouldn't really
I
even
mean, but
call
that's
that
the
a
thing. We don't. I don't think women want to.
well, and
That's the
also
pot
like
calling the kettle black.
yeah, exactly. Like, are you really like if anything, it's women who push whatever the newest thing on
Well,
Netflix
the
is. That's
thing
not
is,
guys doing that.
they'll spend like an hour or so a day going to spin class or solid core, but
Hmm.
like they still have leisure. But
Right.
no, it's like their leisure is different.
Yeah, but that gets back to what I was saying is they do literally what it's not a throwaway line. Like they literally do want a slave. They want to be like the massa who gets to leisure and like lays around and go to spin class and go shopping, but the husband wants to like place a sports bet or like play around. I don't game, but like play a round of Call of Duty or whatever as like, why aren't you working? Why aren't you working?
Your
It's
wife just isn't playing Call of Duty. Netflix, Kick, and sports gambling are F tier.
Oh, Kick. She means
what the heck is
KIO.
kick?
Kick is like a streaming site. It's like where Sneeko streams and stuff. It's like a
Oh, jeez.
streamer. I know. Don't, well, yeah, Sneeko. Anyway, uh, I need to scrub this stream now. We've said the S word. Um, but yeah, she's talking about like spending your time all day watching streamers, which same could be said of what I said earlier about video games. It's
Yeah.
like that's not bad because you won't meet your wife there. That's bad because like you need to care about your own betterment in and of itself, not in relation to women. But in their mind, your whole life needs to be geared around meeting them, and that's what
Well,
I think
it
that's
needs
part
to
of
be
it.
geared around ever-changing standards that they don't even know.
So okay,
You
so
need
what?
to predict what they're going to feel next week.
Right. So you'll get a kick out of. There's one in particular that's hysterical to me.
2. D tier, golf. Let's be honest, golf is a better hobby for married men than single men. C tier, run clubs. You will 100% meet women at run clubs. Plus, you could probably use more cardio, but you'll also be competing with a bunch of dudes with abs who heard on TikTok that run clubs are great places to meet women.
So
So
if a
she's strawman's right there.
right,
Right there. She can't assume that maybe there are like she's half right, but she's framing it as you, the metaphor or the rhetorical listener, are going to be out chatted by the chads who go to Run Club.
and that's kind of an admission right there that that you will be out chatted. That's so funny. And it's the run club thing is interesting too because it's like in and of itself that's a positive thing. Like what's the critique there that like
Well,
the
that's
crit
the thing. It makes no sense because the way she described it, she had to make this weird distinction of like you and all you guys who are listening to this are losers. Like
right.
it's just weird. Like where does she
Well,
like why like why? Like
like
how do you
what's
know that there's not that like it's not on the algorithm and some decent looking
exactly
dude who goes to run might be like, "Oh, run like it's just like Run Club by her logic should be
by
higher."
her exactly by her logic run club should be S tier. And it's like what's even like she says that the critique is that men are going there to meet women. Isn't that what you I thought hey,
Well, that's what she said, and then she's like, "You have to compete with the real
I
men."
thought we had a lonely church girl epidemic. I thought you wanted guys to go places where they'd meet you. So, but when they go there for the purpose of meeting you, that's wrong. And that gives you the ick because they came there to meet you. So you want them to not base their lives around you, but you also want them to approach you at all times also, but you really don't because that's creepy. And there's no consistency here. This is what I'm talking about with Mary Morgan. It's like they don't actually know what they want. And it's, yeah, yeah, I'm repeating myself, but so
Also,
she
like the thing is, I don't consider Run Club a hobby. I think that's legitimately a social gathering to
Right.
meet. I don't view it as a hobby. It's a social gathering.
I would almost sub what which kind of what she's saying is like it would be almost be more appropriate if she said that the gym, like going to the gym, were C tier. Because there are some guys there to meet women,
Yeah,
but some guy like she
because at
Run
least
Club
like
doesn't
the
apply.
because Run Club's at least designated
Hmm.
with the attempt that you can talk that there's a social aspect of it
Yes,
versus
exactly.
just like the gym where people are more head down, headphones on.
Hmm. But I could almost see a world where a guy joins a run club, meets meets Mary Morgan, right, at the run club, and approaches her, or this girl may be a better example, approaches this girl at the run club, and the girl is like, I was disgusted. That is frankly predatory to go to a run club with the sole purpose of meeting a woman who's just trying to get in shape. That is predatory male
Well, the
behavior.
unspoken thing is Run Club does gatekeep,
Oh,
and that's
how so? What do you mean?
well, just like it's not like an official gatekeeping,
Hmm.
but they know you're only getting a certain type of person who
Hmm.
goes there because like anyone who can't hang on that isn't going to go be out of fear of embarrassment.
That's a
So
good
you're
point.
really only going to get very attractive people who go to that,
That's a good point.
or at
Yes, that's
least
very
maybe not
true.
very attractive, but like
But even
people who are in shape
but even with
cardio wise.
even with that though, like because I agree with what you're saying, but even with that, I've seen content on TikTok where and look, I'm going to preface it with this. When I say like, I've seen this on TikTok, I could see an older person being like, "Why do you keep mentioning what you see on TikTok? That's not real life." No, incorrect. That is real life. That is unfiltered real life of women talking into the camera and saying what is on
The
their
ones who
mind.
talk into the
So,
camera aren't even the bad ones. The problem is that filters down to the ones who don't talk into
ex
the camera.
very true. But they
And
take
you're
their
dealing with
cues.
the you're
They're
dealing with that
taking their
same
cues from them.
attitude on on like a lesser but worse level.
100%. Exactly. Exactly. So if anything, the TikTok is actually like a more optimal representation. Like very
Well,
true.
because you see it boil down into the greater or society at large.
Exactly,
It
because
and
women take their
yeah,
cues from women like this. I can guarantee, I don't know how many views this TikTok got or this video got, but for every one woman speaking into the camera saying ridiculous stuff like this, you can probably assume that 100 other women, no, 1,000, 5,000 other women saw this and are regurgitating this to their friend group, saying, "I think golf is D tier." You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
this is definitely being regurgitated. So that is the reason I'm saying you can see on TikTok. Anyway, what I was saying was that I've seen plenty of content on TikTok where women are like they're going to the run club and they don't want a guy to approach them because they're trying to run. And it again, the inconsistency is the problem. There are no real standards. It's ever changing. And like that's kind of the point. And the problem is that we're listening to these women. Men are listening to these women when they shouldn't be, and they're insane. Okay.
It's well, anyway, I guess with Run Club too is like you wear a certain color to show that you're interested, or
That,
I've heard there's like all rules like that. That just the horrible thing is like had it like I still play sports, but like after tearing my Achilles, like I was a huge distance
ah,
runner.
oh, I didn't know
That
you
was
tore
like
your
my
Achilles.
meditation for years. And then in 2020, I snapped my Achilles playing
Oh,
basketball. And
damn.
like I can run, but I've never built up my running stamina.
Uh-huh.
Like I mean, I give a little tendonitis, and I just kind of save my running for like I'll do other forms of cardio, but I save my running for the rare times I play basketball. And now with hockey, it's like a different
Yeah,
type of like, and
different
I'll
cardio.
like skate laps because we like there's an Olympic facility with like a quarter-mile oval. So I
Oh,
switched
nice,
to
nice.
that, but like the thing is, I would if it wasn't for that for the Achilles injury, I'd like I slow me having to slowly build back because it's not that I can't run, it's that my stamina fizzles out really fast. Like
Yeah,
with like a tendonitis and
I
stuff
could
like that.
imagine.
So I
Yeah.
would look like a total dweeb if I went to run club now. But in pre 2020, if I was in that level shape, I shamelessly would be going to these.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Because it's actually not a bad, it's not a bad, that's why it's C tier. It's not a bad place to meet people. I just feel like my impression, to be fair, like I've been off the market for 4 years, so maybe I'm missing something, but I do keep up with this stuff. And my impression is that anywhere these women say they want to be approached, try doing it, and I guarantee you there's some content out there where they're saying, I don't want to be approached while I'm running, while I'm sweating. That's disgusting. And why are you showing up while I'm trying to run? Like, there's always a complaint, even in the ideal places. Like, okay, we have this video in the background, but to Mary Morgan, like, let's say let's say, because the time you would approach a woman at mass would obviously be after mass, right? So the procession is let
You got to
out.
be sneaky and figure out where to sit, and then when
Exactly. But
giving the sign of peace,
that's
but that
predatory
requires
also.
some steps.
That's icky also, because why aren't you thinking about God? Why are you thinking about meeting your wife? But let's say that Mary Morgan is praying the rosary after mass, or praying after mass, staying back, which people do. She's saying we have a lonely church girl epidemic. Maybe she wouldn't say this, but I can imagine. Well, we actually no, we don't have to imagine. We've already seen this content. The tweet you were talking about earlier, the I got approached after mass by this. What was the tweet? What did they say again? What was
She
the
was like, I got approached after mass. I'm mortified. And then the follow up was,
exactly?
it wasn't the guy I wanted it to be.
Exactly. So you're saying that you could like throw mass in here also as a bad
I'm
one,
also
because
laughing
why is
at
he
the
approaching
idea of
you?
when it's time to get I'm sorry, my terms aren't
No, you're good.
up to snuff. But when it's like it's the sign of peace when you shake hands,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
sign of
just
peace.
laughing at somebody like beelining it across the aisle and 5 rows back and like sneaking between people just to give the sign,
Hey,
just to shake a chick's hand.
hey, peace be with you. Ugh, get away from me.
Her dad's
It's
just like, get out of here.
Yeah, yeah, dad's gatekeeping. So yeah, you can imagine that any of these places, even the places Mary Morgan is talking about, oh well, I'm just a lonely church girl. Who's to say that that's not predatory? I'm sure that plenty of women would say that that's like a disgusting place to approach a woman.
On
Because
TikTok
it is
at
true.
run
Like,
clubs are
okay, so you
great.
got to go up and talk afterwards, but like, I'm just trying to conceptualize doing this as an adult versus like, a teenager who, because like for me, we did confirmation classes because I went to the public high school.
Hmm.
Like, we did confirmation classes on Sundays, so it was like we all went to church together, and then we would be in groups and you would you'd see girls from other schools. But I'm
Hmm.
just like trying to conceptualize this as an
Doing
adult,
this
and
as
it's
an
just like
adult, right? Well,
I just can't mentally model how anyone would even do it.
the other thing is that the mass ideally, or church, I guess in general, I do think that's like kind of a good place to meet women. The problem is women are going to mess that up, because like with that tweet, the wrong guy will approach them. He'll do it the wrong way. He'll do it clumsily. They won't be happy with even the traditional places that a guy would have met a woman 30, 40, 50 years ago. Again, no consistency. They don't know what they want, but we're
Give
listening
her
to
a
them.
wink when walking back to the pew after communion.
I've seen that done before,
Oh,
actually.
damn, that's pretty
I've
Chad.
I've seen, actually, that's not, but again, the guy doing that is like the Fernando Mendoza type, and which is ideal for,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he's meeting the requirements.
Places to meet women. B tier, racket sports. Tennis, pickleball, paddle, all attract attractive women. You get a sweat in, and extra plus, racket sports are good for cognition and longevity.
Okay, I hate this
She's
tone. This
right.
is No,
She
exactly.
is right.
I
Like
don't
that's
I'm not going to fight her on this one. I agree. Maybe
and
even racket
I'm
sports.
taking tennis lessons once a month
Racket
for
sports
partially this reason.
Racket sports may even be A tier. I kind of agree with her, actually. Like, it should maybe even be a little higher. She's fine. I
Somebody
just
posted a picture, it was a bunch of boomers playing racquetball and it was like racket sports?
wait. Wait, what? I don't get it.
It was like because they were like boomers in the New Balances, like they look like Steve Carell in
Oh,
The Office.
oh.
Because it's like she said pickleball, tennis. Did she say racquetball?
No, she just said racket sports.
Because I racquetball would be an it.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I agree with her on this one. That's fine. Fine, fair enough on racket sports. I forget what she says for A tier. S tier is a famous, not famous, but everybody knows what she says on S tier. So stupid.
A tier, volunteering. Animal shelters, charity events, and food kitchens
Oh,
all
shut the.
attract kind, social women.
Uh,
Plus, you're doing something good for the world.
What's your beef with that one? I know what my beef is, but what's your
my
beef?
beef with that one is it's performative, and she doesn't actually mean it. You don't actually not going to actually meet anyone. It's just, like realistically, you could just lie about it. You
Yeah,
could
yeah,
honestly just lie. Like
right.
you don't. She's not like she's talking about an idea, not actual action.
My issue with it is that all with a lot of the not with these specifically, but the whole ethos of this video is that it's female centric. The issue for me is that she wants you to do female things. And it's not that volunteering is inherently female thing, but what she wants you to do is what she wants to see is you being a good boy. She wants to see you
Yes.
she wants to see you wagging your tail and doing working for an organization that she likes. She doesn't want to see you here's what you could imagine. You could imagine a guy doing volunteer work with like veterans and her saying that that's a problem because it's MAGA coded. You know what I mean? Like
Yep. Exactly.
they want to see you at the right, they want to see you volunteering at like not even a pregnancy crisis center because that would mean that you're anti-abortion. They would want to see you
Oh
volunteering like at
God.
Planned Parenthood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is so
Exactly. Like.
filtered through the female lens. That's my problem with it. That's the issue
Oh man,
here.
I remember. So funny enough, years ago in college, like I had this massive crush on this girl who worked in the gym, and just gorgeous redhead. Long story short, I found out way after the fact that she was like very high up in the campus Catholics,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm still seething about it a little to this day because my buddy's like, "Yeah, you dodged a bullet." I was like, "I don't know, actually." But funny enough, I made a joke in front of because I was like, because I don't know, I partied and I was like, how do I win over a Catholic girl? And I jokingly said to my buddy in front of his wife, and I was like, what do I have to do? Bomb Planned Parenthood? And his
Oh,
wife, fuck, she hated that joke.
oh,
Like she
really?
literally was like, that's not even funny.
That is, oh my gosh, you can totally see exactly exactly like they
It was a
want
scowl.
you're not allowed to even like care about the organization. And that's like the unspoken thing here is that, like I said, if a guy did work with veterans, it'd be like, well, why does he like the veterans? MAGA likes veterans. So
Why can't he work at Planned
why
Parenthood
isn't he
or
at Planned Parenthood? And this is all through
the
the female lens. That's the problem.
exactly.
And then S tier. Do you know what S tier is?
I actually have no clue. I feel like I
What would
wasn't
you
expecting volunteering.
what would you guess is what do you think she's going to say is S
So it's
tier?
activity.
Yeah, it is an activity. It's kind
Lift.
of
I feel like
it's
lifting
it's
is
kind of
too
like I'll
obvious.
give you a hint. It's kind of like Run Club, kinda.
Does she say high rocks?
No. Okay,
Okay.
okay. It's so stupid you wouldn't even think of it. This is so performative. Okay.
S tier, social dance. Swing, two-step salsa does not matter. The ratios at dance
I
classes
thought
work in
that
your favor.
it was on the tip of my tongue. It was on the
Social
tip of my tongue.
social
I thought
dance.
about it for a second. I said, is it dancing? No, that's dumb.
And
I almost guessed it. I
what that
should have just went with my gut.
what that means is that they literally want you to be the jester meme. They want you dancing in front of them, showing off your moves, and like literally being a performative slave, shucking and jiving. I'm not against dance, obviously, but
It's
again,
like
this
in
is
the other
all through
guys
the
when
female lens.
Mark Wahlberg's character to impress his ex-girlfriend who's a ballerina, like does a great dance. And like, wow, he goes, yeah, I learned it to make fun of those sissy weird kids who dance.
And also, that they have this image in their head of like this grand moment where he lifts her up in the air and twirls her around.
He's
They're
just Travolta from Saturday Night Fever.
exactly, exactly. And he was kind of Chad in that movie. I need to rewatch
I
that.
mean, he was in insane shape for that. Did you know
Dude.
there's a rated R version of that movie that's like really hard to find?
Oh, really? I know that there's like a
So like
a rape scene that they edited out of it.
yeah, there
Yeah.
was so the rated R version has that and like a bunch because I think it was Kumi actually Kumia talked about it.
Oh, okay.
He talked about it on a show a long time ago because he said he saw the movie. This is like a decade ago. He talked about this. He said he saw the movie, and he was like, "What the heck? Like, what was this?" And he saw it like in theaters in its original form, and then it just like people were so kind of weirded out by it. They did the edit and then made it kind of like a teenish movie.
Uh-huh.
But like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like I've always been trying to locate that rated R version.
Yeah, had never seen that. I've seen the movie. I don't know what's going on with my screen here. Sorry. Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec. Why is this doing this? I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. We can just keep talking for a
Oh,
sec.
good.
Uh,
Heim girl.
okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. We're still good though. We're still recording. Okay. Um, yeah, yeah. So I mean that video kind of anyway. Sorry. But yeah, I like Saturday Night Fever. He was great. I know, incredible shape. I mean, that was really like the peak of well, maybe Grease
Because they were
was.
talking about how he did so much like they were like he did like insane amounts of cardio and dancing to like pull that off. And that's why like Tarantino was talking about how when he casted him in Pulp Fiction and they did the dance scene, he went to go
Oh, yeah,
he went
yeah.
undercover to like see the movie like when it came out and he said when Travolta started dancing the entire theater went nuts.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I mean, dude, like he would yeah. I mean, that's like ultimate like square jawed Chad like and even in
And
that
that but
movie
that
he
thing
was
is
like
that's what they imagine with this. They don't
exactly.
and the
Exactly.
thing is it's like they expect it's like it's also very brown coated.
How so?
Just like it's something like some sleazy Puerto Rican guy would do and be like, "Oh,
Oh,
we're
oh, oh, I
going
thought
dancing."
yeah, okay. I thought you meant the desire to see a dancer as brown coated. Yeah, no, no, no. The kind of guy that
Actually,
would
it
be
is. I'd go with that.
oh,
I'll double down on that.
well, I hadn't even thought of that, but you're right though that the kind of guy that would be attracted to like a dance club would be like a like like a black like an
It
actual
w
black person
yeah, it
or
would
like
be something
some
like it would
Latin
be
guy.
yeah, it would be something very sleazy.
Right, right. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the Mary Morgan thing in a nutshell. What I will say, I'll tag her in this. Mary, you're more than welcome to come on. And kind of defend that stance. I think that that's ridiculous that we have a lonely church girl epidemic. That's obviously not the case. The problem with the dating market rests squarely on the shoulders of the women. Um, and we would love to see your DMs because, frankly, I can only imagine the number of suitors you've had that you've
Well, the
rejected, and
thing is, every
you know,
time the DM question comes up, I'm always curious. Like, I guarantee you'll find some respectability in there.
100%, 100%.
You will find some respectability, and I'm always curious, like, what's wrong with the respectable DM?
Right, right. Well, what they want you to believe is that every guy who approaches them is like, I can't even think of like a movie example, but just like the ugliest, weirdest, smelliest, brokest guy you can imagine. I could imagine that Mary Morgan has perfectly fine, reputable guys in her DMs that she's rejected. And I would also say to Mary Morgan, if you want to embrace the trad life and not be a boss girl, then delete the Twitter account. Stop going on interviews. Don't go on Michael Knowles. Don't go on Tim Pool. But I don't think we'll see that because
No,
fundamentally, she is kind of a boss girl doing with an overlay of Catholicism. I don't want to say she's skin suiting Catholicism because I do believe she's Catholic and everything, but she wants to do the boss girl thing with the respectability of Catholicism attached to it, you know.
The grift
Um,
to an
yeah,
extent.
it is a grift to an extent. I hate to say it that way, but it kind of is. Um, yeah, I mean, we've been going for about an hour. I think we can probably put a bookmark in it there. Um, yeah, let's we might do some Carmelo Anthony stuff next week or some like more racial analysis stuff. There's a lot of content out there post Carmelo Anthony. There is that honestly we might need to do a separate episode about the not
I mean, we
Carmelo Anthony
probably would
specifically,
because
but
just did you see someone made a song called the Austin Bop and they're
I saw
like,
that. I saw
see,
that.
I mean, it's and this is a weird thing I think we've talked about. I don't know if we talked about it on the show or in the D or just in text, but there's such a hostile attitude that didn't exist. Not to be one of those dumb, those Gen X dorks who are like everything was perfect in the '90s. We all got along, man.
Right,
Like
but there is
there's
there's
truth
like
to
an
it.
element of truth to that.
There was more
And
civility.
I think the Carmelo Anthony thing, I was talking to kind of some more normie friends of mine, but the Carmelo Anthony thing did actually wake up a lot of normies, kind of like the BLM riots did. Um,
Well, I haven't seen a single. So the AWFLs that I'm acquaintances and friends with in real life,
mhm.
not a single one has posted one thing on that topic.
In defense of Carmelo
Nothing.
Anthony. Yeah, exactly, because
Nothing.
it's egregious. It's totally egregious. And I think the idea that like he deserves any kind of sympathy for stabbing a guy in the heart is ridiculous to people. Because at least with the George Floyd thing, you had like a
The
you had a
police aspect of
you had a
it,
police
and
aspect, you had a difficult video to watch, not for me, but like for some people, like oh, his knee was on his neck for 8 minutes, like that was
yeah, there was
appealing to
more.
people.
It's still crazy they never released the video.
I know.
You know, it has to be so bad.
I know. And yeah, yeah, it had to be horrible for that to never have come out. 100%. Um, yeah, we'll shoot for that next week, but we'll put a bookmark in it there. If you guys want to follow SW on Twitter, he is at Snowmed34, SNOWMED 34. On X, I am Jordan B Videos, JORDANBVIDE0S. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And SW, I will talk to you soon, man. Thanks for
Take
coming on
care.
again. All right, later, Ben.